Hi, welcome to our show, Happy Tales. I'm Cheryl Rosenthal, Communications and Education Coordinator here at the Oshkosh Area Humane Society. And today I have with me...
I'm Rhonda Veely, and I'm the Public Operations Manager here at the shelter.
And today we're going to be talking about taking care of your pets, some basic things that you can do to take care of your pets. And I think, Rhonda, we do these things on a daily basis because we're caring for so many animals, but people forget when they get their pet home that there's things that they can be doing to make their pet stay healthier, and ways that they can prepare their pet for that occasional vet visit when they have to go to see the vet.
Right.
So today we're going to be talking about toothbrushing, which is very important for the health of your pet. Dirty teeth can lead to a lot of other kinds of infections and ailments. We're going to talk about ear cleaning. Sometimes we have people that they don't realize, oh, my dog smells, but they've never looked in their ears. We're going to do a little bit about nail trimming. We're going to talk about prevention for fleas and ticks. Do these medications do more than just fleas and ticks, though?
A lot of them do, yes. A lot of them actually can combat heartworm. This one in particular does heartworm, roundworms, fleas. Some of them do ticks. There's a kind of a broad spectrum of different products you can get.
But there's a special way that you need to apply this, and
Correct.
sometimes showing people how to do that will help make the product more effective, because if you're not putting it on right,
it's not going to be as effective.
It's not going to work. And then I think something that all of us go through during the life of our pet is we have to give our pet medication. And they
not
don't,
an easy task.
No, it's not easy. And so just like we do with children or adults that they don't want to take their medication, sometimes we have to fool them into doing it. So we're going to use some tips on that. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about grooming and then giving a bath. And I think you shared with me there is a best way to give an animal a bath, and we're going to talk about that and the reasons why. And if your pet doesn't like a bath, we're going to talk about the pet wipes. And then if we have some time left, we're also going to touch on emergencies. And so I think what we're going to do is we're going to bring some animals in, and we're actually going to demonstrate on some of the animals here at the shelter. And hopefully these are going to be tips that you're going to be able to use with your pets at home. All right, well, here we are with Packer, and Packer is on some medication for...
Packer is a 14-year-old kitty who has hyperthyroid, so he has to take medication daily to combat that. So we will go ahead and give you some suggestions.
Okay. So if I have to give my cat a pill, and I'm not real sure, my cat is really kind of bitey, doesn't want to take it, I can just give him some food like this.
Right. And you can crush the pill into the food, or just hide it in there, but for cats usually you want to crush it. But you want to ask your vet before you deem this is okay.
Okay, so different medications should not, some medication can be crushed, some cannot, but if it can't be crushed, I can just kind of hide it right in there.
You can hide it in there.
Hide it right in there and mound it up, and let's let Packer have a snack.
There you go, buddy.
So hopefully if there was a pill in there, he's going to eat that right up.
This is a tricky way to do it with cats because they are really good at finding things in their food and just pushing it to the side. But you certainly ask your vet if it's possible to crush it, because that's a lot easier.
So if you can crush it, then you can do that.
Right.
Or maybe even if you put the pill in the cat's mouth, even having a reward like this afterwards is a good way to make sure that they've swallowed it and that they're going to keep it down.
Yeah, and I do encourage, no matter how you're medicating your pet, make sure you do something afterward to reward them. Because otherwise, every time you come at them with the medication, especially for a kitty like Packer who has to have it daily, we don't want him to be running from us and stressing him out.
Okay, here you come, I'm going to run and hide, I don't want to take my pills
today. And just like with people, the more you stress them out to medicate them, the less effective the medication is going to be, because stress plays such a huge role in their overall health. So you want to find the easiest way to medicate your own animal. And for every animal, it can be a little different.
And I'm sure if you have a pet that has to be on regular medication all of its life, they probably get into a routine, and it becomes a little bit easier.
As long as it's a positive routine.
Right, make it a positive. And then for those times that we have to give medication, I guess sometimes we have to use a little bit of gentle force.
Right.
So Packer's just about done with his food treat here. And so when we're actually going to give him his medication, because he takes his medication so well, when you're going to give a pill,
if you have someone to help you, that's always ideal. Somebody can hold, and the other person can kind of do the job of putting the pill down.
So is it, now for people that aren't used to handling their cat, I see how he's backing up and he's struggling, and I'm going to try to open his mouth here. I've only got, now he's coming up with the feet, and so I can see where, it's really helpful to have 2 people. So how would you suggest that somebody do this?
Well, you're my helper, so I'm going to have you hold him just so he can't back away from me. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pet him a little bit. I always pet him a little just so they know that this is not, I'm not trying to hurt him. I'm going to use my thumb to press his mouth open. I'm going to drop the pill as far back in his throat as I can get it. And then I'm going to hold his mouth shut so he can swallow. He's not going to like it. And you're going to rub the throat down, never up. If you rub up, you're actually encouraging him to spit it back up. But if you rub down, you're encouraging him to swallow what's in his mouth. And he should probably.
And I've heard that once they've licked their nose, they've swallowed their pill.
That can be, that can sometimes work for some kitties, not all. Some are a little trickier than others. I usually will wait till I feel them swallow. What makes it incredibly difficult is if they don't swallow it and they spit it out, and then you have to try a second attempt. Not only is it really stressful, but it's much more difficult.
So the key for pilling a cat is be prepared. Have your pill ready, have your helper ready. If you don't have a helper, maybe you can hold your kitty between your legs, or do it sitting in a chair.
Some people will wrap their kitty in a towel.
Wrap them in a towel. And then we'll be getting into this a little bit more in detail, but again, because you have to be pilling your kitty, we always hope that our pets won't get sick. But it's a good idea from time to time to just, when you're petting your kitty, look at them and go, oh, let me see. Oh, good kitty. You don't have to open their mouth real wide, but just every once in a while, look at their teeth. Open their mouth so that they get used to you doing those types of things to them, so that when you do it, it's not something so foreign.
Exactly.
All right. So that's some tips on how to pill a cat. You can also use do pill pockets work for cats?
I never have seen them too. They make a lot of different tools and treats out there that are supposed to help you, and in my experience, it's easier just to get it done.
Open their mouth, pop it in, smooth the throat, and have them swallow it. So, and I'm sure that if somebody was really having problems, again, they should contact their veterinarian.
Make sure a lot of medications can be made into a liquid form. So if you really are having trouble with a pill, maybe talk to your vet about whether or not you can get a liquid form, which might be a little easier for your pet.
Okay, good. Here we are with Peaches, and Peaches is going to help us demonstrate how to pill a dog. And what kind of medication is Peaches going to be having today?
Peaches actually needs her heartworm preventative, which is something most people do monthly, and we do at the shelter here as well. A lot of people do a chewable treat. We have a pill form today, which is actually chewable, but most dogs don't chew it, so we have to make sure she eats it. And that's going to mean pilling her.
Is it common that dogs usually like their heartworm pill?
It depends on the type that you're using. There's a lot of different brands. There's a chewable kind that's like a little beef treat. Most dogs will eat that up right away. This is a tablet, which is supposed to be flavored, and she actually looks pretty interested, but it's harder to chew. So not a lot of dogs will get very excited about it. Although you are.
Okay. So in that form, you can just give it to her as you would a treat. And then would you recommend, to make sure that she's eaten it, maybe follow it up with another treat?
Might not be a bad idea. Just to make sure if she's going to chew it or swallow it, we want to make sure she gets it all down, because it's important she get the full dose.
And I think it's important too, if you have more than one dog and you're giving your Heartgard, you need to make sure that you keep your dogs separated so that everybody gets their Heartgard and not somebody else's.
Which is another good reason to pill them with their Heartgard if it's a tablet, than just to put it in food. If she eats really fast and then Muffy or Buffy eats slower, somebody might get two, which you don't want to happen. So just like with the kitty, it helps if you have a helper. And she's on the table, so she doesn't like it, but that's actually beneficial for us because she's going to hold still better. So again, I'm going to pat her a little while Cheryl's holding her, and I'm just going to open her mouth as wide as I can. I'm going to drop it down and rub down, just like you would with the cat. She swallowed it right away. So that was very easy. Good girl. And then I'm going to follow up with a couple treats. There you go. Good girl. Very good girl. So sometimes with dogs, it is a lot easier to hide it in some soft food. And a lot of dog medications can be given that way, unlike cat medications.
So maybe in a piece of cheese.
A hot dog.
A hot dog.
Anything you know your dog really likes, something they're going to eat up without question.
Good.